Hi, from Universal. I'm here today to acquaint myself with Halloween Horror Nights this year because, to be completely blunt about it, I have really not been very invested in this year's Halloween Horror Nights announcements at all. So I'm gonna go over to Universal Studios and just walk around the park. They've put out a majority of the Halloween Horror Nights props, I think, for the different scare zones, and all of the houses have been announced. They installed the Halloween Horror Nights medallion, I think today, the day that I'm here. I don't know if anybody else shares the same, just general indifference that I do towards Halloween Horror Nights this year. I don't even know the IP houses that have been announced. So Eternal Bloodlines, Universal Monsters, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, A Quiet Place, and Insidious The Further. I will absolutely be going to Halloween Horror Nights this year, definitely, because the event is phenomenal. It's just nothing has really excited me about it. I think for me personally, there's always at least one or two IP houses that get me really motivated and excited to go to Halloween Horror Nights, but not really this year. And I know that I'll be enthusiastic about it once the event actually does start, which it starts next week, which I won't even be in town next week, so I'll definitely have to come a little bit after the fact to experience Halloween Horror Nights. Even this marquee has me more excited for Halloween Horror Nights than the actual house announcements or Scare Zone announcements have. Just the spooks and the food and the alcohol and the fog and the lights. That's what I come to Halloween Horror Nights for. So I got off of work about an hour or so ago, so I don't have a lot of time to walk around Universal, but I'm starting over here in Hollywood. So before I went into Hollywood, I wanted to talk about this premium Scream night that Halloween Horror Nights is doing this year. So last year they did sort of like an exclusive food event where for a price you could pay to preview the food that they were going to be selling at Halloween Horror Nights, and this year is the premium Scream night, which they are describing as a sneak peek at an exclusive new event. Face terrifying haunted houses with shorter wait times and entry staggered by group. Check out sinister scare zones, live entertainment, and select attractions, plus dine on select all you care to enjoy food and non-alcoholic drinks. That is $350 plus tax. That is not something that I'm going to be doing. I think that caters to a very specific audience that wants to pay for that premium and exclusive experience, whether it be content or because they actually like Halloween Horror Nights. I don't really know. That is a very ballooned price, in my opinion, to experience something that I would just like to experience like a normal guest. So if you're watching and going to that event, then that is awesome. I'm sure that it's going to be a pretty fun experience. That is just a very expensive price. I don't really like the exclusive experiences. I don't know why. I do know why. I just like going to the parks just normally, I guess. I don't like paying for like a premium exclusive elevated experience. I have similar sentiments towards express passes and RIP tours at Halloween Horror Nights. I just think it's special just to come to Halloween Horror Nights and have fun and do whatever I want to do. And that involves waiting in long lines sometimes, but that to me is Halloween Horror Nights. Not that I'm against ever using and utilizing express passes, and for a lot of people that's how they even experience the event and how they're able to do all that they want to do, which I understand that. I don't know, I feel weird just paying for a premium experience sometimes, I guess. So I had to backtrack a little bit, but this is a really cool portal scare zone piece here. I think this is for Demon Queens, the scare zone that I'm in right now in Hollywood. It says, get caught in an otherworldly hellscape ripped from the darkest corners of your mind. 4 merciless queens loyal to surreal rule, surrounded by hordes of fanatical followers. So I guess that Sinister and Surreal are sisters that were announced for Halloween Horror Nights this year. I don't know anything really specific about that other than they are predominant in the scare zones, which I need to go back to this one, I guess. This is the tribute store, which there were more things added to this since I've been here last, but I'm gonna go this way, I think, to this scare zone. The HHN tribute store is gonna be over in New York, so I need to go over there too. So this is the Swamp of the Undead scare zone. It says, in backwards Louisiana, you unwittingly wander onto private property where you're swamped by zombies born from the bodies of other trespassers who were killed and dumped in a nearby bog. This one is going to be absolutely incredible. I can tell with the fog that they're going to be pumping in here. And then this effect here, like this glass, this reflective mirror on the ground, just looking like you're in a swamp. This one's cool. I always have high hopes for this particular scare zone and all of the morbid stuff they're covering up with a tarp right now, because of course they should. I'm imagining that there are going to be scare actors up here. So I'm definitely excited for this scare zone. I knew about this one, but I've not seen it, but it's pretty much done. This is cool, this shack up here. Someone's underpants out of the line. So I think then we're going to turn around and backtrack a little bit. There's one house over across the lagoon. That's the Blumhouse. There's like a gator right there. There's like a Blumhouse scare zone that I don't really particularly care about at all. I just wanted to walk through this one really quickly. It's going to be fun to actually come back to the event too and just be excited and surprised by elements and details that I'm just missing by casually, quickly walking through, but I really do like this effect. This entire area just has fog in it. That's going to be awesome. This is back over by Central Park, and I'm going over to New York now. I still have a little daylight. These are what are usually used at like house entrances or just directional signs. So this is probably going to be like just a general Halloween Horror Nights directional sign of where the houses and scare zones are. And then this is going to be a bar, presumably here in Battery Park over by Mel's. Okay, I'm going to go this way before I can't because they're about to close this for Cinesational. This is Sting Alley, which is currently set up for a food location. And I'm presuming that I can walk through here. I've appreciated utilizing this area for food and beverage during the events. It gets pretty popular. I don't even know what the menu is. I don't know. I'm just excited to go to Halloween Horror Nights and just be surprised. So it looks like it's blocked off over here, so I'm gonna have to turn around anyway, which I do want to go back this way through New York all the way down to the Tribute Store because that was unveiled today too, apparently. Did you know that a lot of all that and Kenan and Kel, like the intros, were filmed at Universal Studios Florida? That's cool. So many things were filmed at Universal. So I'll go back this way in just a minute, but this was about to be closed off, so I wanted to make sure that I came that way before I couldn't. This is because of, again, Cinesational with the drones and the fireworks. But this is another scare zone that I'm walking down. That's Sting Alley, and this is the Torture Fair scare zone. So it says, come on to Sinister's Renaissance Fair with the devious theme of medieval torture. Brave the glorious, gory, homemade torture devices till you're put out of your misery. That is a tongue twister. So I am definitely going to have to get familiarized with the sinister and surreal sisters and their relevance with all of these different scare zones. I don't know if they're icons or just iconic characters that has seemingly been a point of contention with a lot of Halloween Horror Nights people. But this is pretty cool. Not gonna be able to get this close probably during the events with stuff happening on all of these stages here. Lots of arrows and fruits over here. There are signs that say, Ye Olde Torture Fair 2024. And then a few more of these like stages that they have here, again with the tarps covering up the unpleasantries. This is pretty cool though, I'm not gonna lie. I do definitely appreciate this. I think New York has just always had the ideal Halloween Horror Nights scare zone real estate. Of course, there's string lights in between the buildings, and then this is the main stage here for Ye Olde Torture Fair, which is, it's getting pretty dark, but this is pretty simple. There's a couple chairs over here, like thrones, presumably, like a king and a queen or something. And then right across from that is what everyone's been talking about today, which is the Tribute Store. The internet's had high expectations and has been complaining about the inadequacy of this Tribute Store facade, delivering on what they have appreciated about the effort put into Tribute Store facade entrances, but this is just like a shipping crate, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much all that it is, unless there's more to be installed, which there might be, because again, I think that this was literally just put here today, so they could expand upon this. There needs to be some sort of like a lighting element to it, right? So I'm going back through New York, and this is another one of those stages that looks like an iron steer with like fire underneath it or something. To just actually see these be utilized is going to be pretty interesting, I think. This is right in front of Finnegan's. And again, it's likely for... Has this ever worked? I've never seen this on. There's likely to be more props set out in the scare zones, but the event does start in less than a week, so it is very, very quickly approaching. I didn't even notice these like stanchions here, and a lot of these get wheeled out into the street. Some get brought out from like backstage on the actual event night. All right, now I'm heading into San Francisco. I also did want to talk about houses. I don't know the specifics of where the houses are going, but I do know the entrances. So this is one of the entrances over here, which is Fast and Furious Supercharged, which is currently down. The attraction is down, but the queue and then part of the outdoor like extended queue ends up being part of this Halloween Horror Nights house. And this is again one of like the metal structures here for the entrance for it. Apparently Fanta is a pretty big deal this year too, but this is the Enter the Blumhouse scare zone. So it says, escape a terrifying gauntlet of Blumhouse characters, from sinister sadists, from The Purge and Black Phone to Megan dancing into your nightmares. You've never known horror like this. We'll see about that. Well, this just looks, unfortunately, very boring and bland. I was a little bit unnecessarily blunt, and now I feel somewhat bad about it, but I am just so not interested in Blumhouse, just personally. I don't know, and this does not seem themed like at all. It says, reminder, all emergency services will be suspended for a 12-hour period during the Purge. For the most part, it's pretty devoid of theming. There are lockers over here, and then a Rocky or a Bucky head. There was that stage over there, and another Purge reminder sign here. And then this is the Black Phone. I wonder if this is going to be like another flash mob dancing area, or just to a character zone with just a bunch of selfies, but I'm enthusiastically optimistic about being surprised by this scare zone, and maybe it's going to be a lot of fun. And then of course there's Diagon Alley, which does have stuff for, oh, the dragon's about to breathe fire. What am I trying to say? The Death Eaters. They have the various stages set up for the Death Eaters, and for the most part these are pretty identical to what they've been before, just stages with green light and fog. So I'm heading back out of Diagon Alley now, and then around the lagoon. It actually looks like they're rehearsing back over here for the show that's going to be in what used to be the Fear Factor Stadium. This is pretty cool. I have never seen a rehearsal for this show. You can see all the lights, and you can hear the music, but just like very subtly, I think. They've replaced a lot of the lights around the park to make it a little bit more spooky for Halloween Horror Nights, and there's no sign yet, but this is for Nightmare Fuel Nocturnal Circus. And it says, step right up to a dark circus, a new nightmare that carries with it a sinister curse. Get trapped in a thrilling spectacle of pyro and aerialists to the beat of pulse-pounding rock rhythms. And right across from that are some interesting booths, seemingly sponsored by Fanta. This is another one over by the Potter Simpsons bridge. And then this one too. Why do I feel like last year the menus were a little bit more present at this time, just being less than a week pretty much from the event starting? That was just horrifically backlit and blurry and awful, but you know what? That's okay. Walking back towards Men in Black, and this should be a house entrance over here. If it's like how it's been in previous years, this would go all the way around the Men in Black building, which I didn't really care for that. It's only been a couple house entrances so far, and there are a lot over on this side of the park too. This is the exit for Men in Black, and there's a house entrance portal back over here, and this is usually one too, but there is no entrance right now. This might just be the exit for all of the tent houses back there. I feel like that has to be a house entrance though, back there, because it usually is. Ooh, this is interesting. This is a house entrance? Over by Simpsons? Is it gonna be through this gate here, or through like the Simpsons queue itself? This is new, I like this. So a pretty big disadvantage of coming to Universal so late in the day is that everything is closed and I wanted to get some food. Even Fast Food Boulevard is not open right now, which is a bummer. So I'm heading back into DreamWorks now, which was not open last year during Halloween Horror Nights, so I do wonder if they've put house entrances back over here too, and this is like a little snack area here. The Cary Drive-In. So they're probably going to be having Twisted Taters back here, right? We're not going to be coming to HHN for a little bit after it opens because we are going to be doing something pretty cool next week, but I'm already excited for HHN. See, I'm not like really excited for like the houses really or the scare zones. I'm excited for the event. It's a little bit hard to see, but it looks like they've finished like the signs over here. This DreamWorks Imagination Cafe, which, well, they have pizza fries probably, and then the restrooms over here, so they've added like little bikes over there, and then like the DreamWorks moon logo. So the question is the portal entrance over by ET now, or like actually back here in DreamWorks land? So it is not over by ET, because that would probably just be the exit if there was a house entrance back over here. But I don't know, I have not seen anything that looks like it would be a house entrance back here in DreamWorks land. So yeah, I don't know, maybe they'll put out a portal at some point. It'd be weird to not have one back here. I feel like it has to though, right? Because there are 2 tent houses and then 2 soundstage houses. Sensational is starting right now. Okay, I need to go back to the front of the park. This is El Mercado de los Monstruos. So this is gonna be a, there you go. I adjusted the light ever so slowly. Oh yeah, this will be like a quick little food booth or bar or something, I guess. This is dark right now, but this is gonna be Mel's die-in during HHN. Back here by Minions, and this is a portal entrance over here. Didn't they, oh, fireworks. Didn't they have like the barricades set up at this point last year or in years past, just a week out? There's the Insidious food booth over here. All of these signs are just so bright, it completely just blows out the light of the camera. This is really cool. The drones are like right there. Like it really feels like they're just right here. There's Shrek and Donkey, of course. Cool. Okay, so these houses. So back in New York, this is a house entrance over here by Jimmy Fallon. And then of course, oh my God, these houses back over here, which these are for these sound stages that are on this side of the park. And then this is back over by the Tribute Store, which again, we'll see if there's some sort of like improvement that happens to this. Whoa, so now I'm gonna go over here, because this is where some of the themed food booths are. Ivan's, NYC Deli and Grocery, family owned since 1984, and then Ghostbusters. Oh, it's so backlit. Hopefully this will be improved for the actual event with a little bit better lighting in the area. Speaking of Ghostbusters, I'm waiting for, there it is. It's so ominous and cool. Okay. This is the Twisted Tater booth. Okay. So I wonder what's going to be going back over by DreamWorks. And then the Twilight Tavern. I do enjoy the theme of these. And then this, again, this like Fanta booth. I don't know, if there's some cool Fanta drinks, then I'm all about it. I definitely love myself some Fanta. I'm excited about, I think, Ghostbusters. I haven't seen like the reboot of Ghostbusters, but the vibe of Ghostbusters I appreciate. These lights are killing me! So I'm going back to the front of the park because there is one more scare zone. That was really the first scare zone that I encountered. The first one last house entrance, which is going to be back over here by Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, and this is the Duality of Fear scare zone right at the entrance of Halloween Horror Nights, and I probably should have read this one first, but I did not. It says, as soon as you enter the gates of Halloween Horror Nights, you must choose a path. Follow Sinister, the manifestation of visceral horror, or follow Surreal, the incarnation of unearthly terror. And there is, like, no theming here at all. Like, I am really surprised and disappointed if this is, like, a scare zone. I don't know. I'm sure they're going to be adding stuff, like, probably immediately as soon as I record this video. So I don't think that I saw all of the portals, which is bothering me. Like, I think that there's going to be one back by DreamWorks, but I didn't actually see the portal. They also added these, like, spotlights up here, which I really like a lot because they occasionally flash on the Universal Studios arch. Maybe in a second. There it is. So what I got here to mention the 4 IP houses that Universal is doing this year. So Insidious, A Quiet Place, Ghostbusters, and Eternal Bloodlines, Universal Monsters. Oh, that's actually cool. E.T. back there in the back. So there are 10 houses, 4 of which are going to be IP, and then 6 of which are going to be original houses. So the other houses that were also announced are Monstrous, The Monsters of Latin America, Slaughter Cinema 2, The Museum Deadly Exhibits, Major Sweets Candy Factory, Goblin's Feast, and Triplets of Terror. Oh, and there's the Universal logo, right next to the Universal globe. This is the finale of Sensational. And I could definitely give the synopsis of those houses, but I think I want to wait until the actual event to talk about them as I'm doing them. Dude, I really need something to eat, and I'm tempted to go up here to like Burger King or Moe's or Panda Express. I think I might, and I think I'm gonna go to Burger King to the Whopper Bar. So this is the Whopper Bar because you can build your Whopper your way with all of these toppings, and then they also have flame grilled bar favorites. They have the Whopper, the Impossible Whopper, the Barbecue Bacon Whopper, the California Whopper, the Angry Whopper, the Bacon King, the Steakhouse King, the Mushroom Swiss King, and then the classic Royal Crispy, the Spice Royal Crispy, and then the Bacon and Swiss Royal Crispy, as well as sweets and beverages and sides. So I'm sitting outside. I have not sat outside in quite a long time. I ended up getting the Steakhouse King Burger with some fries, and then I got a strawberry shake, and I'm just watching everybody leave the park down there and go towards the parking garage, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to go over to the Legacy store. These lights tonight have been destroying everything. Well, that was actually pretty delicious. I liked that, but now I'm going over to the Legacy store, presuming that it's still open. It looks like the Red Coconut Club is going to be the Dead Coconut Club again, but this has pretty minimal theming outside, so I don't know if it's going to be like it has been before. So this elevator is out, so I have to go all the way around CityWalk pretty much to go back down to the Legacy store. That's where I was, right over there. Well, that was not bad at all because the stairs are just right over here next to Rising Star, and this is the Legacy store, which I hope it's still open. Everything's closing early tonight. Yes, it is still open and presumably less busy than it would be. This is where I wanted to go for dinner tonight, at the Hot Dog Hall of Fame, because I never eat over here, and I was just like really feeling a hot dog, but it closed when the park's closed, so I was not able to eat here, but Burger King was still pretty good. I don't ever go there either. So this is the emptiest that I've ever seen this model. I'm gonna be using the AR app here, so you can see all the people walking up to the Kronos there, and this is Celestial Park. So this is the Untrainable Dragon, which is going to be in this show building here. That's really cool. This is the Isle of Berk, which is right next to Celestial Park. So I'm going to walk around a little bit more. So for the Isle of Berk, there's some dragons flying around here, and then it has specifics on the ride. So this is Hiccup's Wing Gliders. And back over here is the Viking Training Camp. Over here is Mead Hall. This is back in Celestial Park. So you can see that this is Stardust Racers because they did have to change that name from Starfall Racers. And then this is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Well, that's cool. This is inside the Ministry of Magic, the Trial of Dolores Umbridge. That's neat. Whoa. This is weird, right? There's the elevators that we'll be riding. That is cool. This is the Battle of the Ministry ride building. I mean, it's sort of hard to see, but there are like Wizarding World creatures flying around, like Thestrals and I don't know, phoenixes and owls maybe. And then there are people walking around the street there. I came back here on this side because you can see the cafe and then the Circuit Arcanu, which is the show, and then the wand shop in the land there. And this is the Grand Helios Hotel, and you can see all of the cars dropping people off there for probably the coolest stay that they will ever have at a hotel. This is Dark Universe, and this is Monsters Unchained here at the show building for it. There should be a ride vehicle, there it is. That is so curious. It doesn't really say a lot about what this ride is going to be. Yes, so that is the Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiments. You can see bats flying around the castle there. I feel like we saw like a werewolf running around the land. There are people over by the... Oh, there's the werewolf, I think, right? There's the burning windmill. This is Das Steakhouse. This is the Curse of the Werewolf attraction. And this is the Burning Blade Tavern right here. This land's gonna be so much fun. This is gonna be so cool. So this is Super Nintendo World. There's Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Country. There's Diddy Kong riding. This is Minecart Madness. And then over there is Yoshi's Adventure. And then this is... Oh, that's Toadstool Cafe, way over there. But then this is Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. Riding Rainbow Road. So also in Celestial Park is this, which is right there. That is the Constellation Carousel. And then I think Astronomica is like a little like water play area. And then their restaurants, Atlantic, the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurants, the Oaken Star Tavern, and then Pizza Moon, which are just all restaurants that are just kind of scattered around Celestial Park there. I never showed this. I've been wearing this Burger King hat since I got my Burger King. All right, I finally got to use the AR feature of the app in the Epic Universe Preview Center. I was very happy about that, and the crowds were not that bad. But now I'm finally going back to the parking garage to head home. It's about 11 o'clock. So the next time I come back to Universal, it's going to be for Halloween Horror Nights, where hopefully, I'm presuming, I'm anticipating, I'm expecting to be very blown away. 3 parks, more epic than ever. The signs were here the entire time. Literally, I haven't been at Universal this late in a pretty long time, but it's definitely conditioning me for the long nights of HHN ahead, especially with my ornery butt not wanting to use Express. So thank you for going with me to Universal tonight. Was that the best HHN preparation video? No, it wasn't. Do I know where the houses are? No, I don't. Do I know really anything about the houses or the scare zones? I don't. But that is what is fun for me about going to Halloween Horror Nights, is just being surprised and excited and overwhelmed and overstimulated by the entirety of the event, and just trying to prioritize what houses I want to do, what scare zones I want to walk through, and then just moving that list around and going multiple times and having drinks and having food and just being immersed in the fog and the environment, the atmosphere of what HHN is, and going with friends, going with family, going with Brennan, going alone. I like it all. So I'm excited for it. Not gonna be able to go for like a week or two probably after the event opens, but I'll be at Universal's HHN and I'll be excited about it. Darn it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Have a great day and goodbye.